Hey, it's V from the A-Team, and on today's 4-Minute Film School, we are creating a professional lighting setup with only one light. Let's go. I'm here with Hunter Gulan, a commercial DP. He works in a lot of music videos, but today we are going to do an experiment. What are we going for?
We're going for a high-key look with one light source.
That can be a little tricky sometimes. Why would you only use one light?
Either you're limited to a small space and you can only fit one light in the area, or two, you just don't have the budget to get a lot of different lights.
So when you only have one light, it's all about controlling it. It's all about bouncing it, diffusing it, doing what you can to shape that light. So in this instance, we had both a male talent and a female talent. We did the same lighting on both of them.
For the first setup, we had an Aputure 300D Mark II with the dome and the grid, and we focused it at a 3/4 angle upwards down at the talent to give them kind of a nice, almost completely frontal look on their face, almost wrap all the way around, and that gave us a good starting point to start modifying the light from there and make it into a more high-key look.
What are some of the advantages of the dome and the grid together?
It reduces the spread, so it focuses it more in one direction.
So when you place just one light on someone's face, whether it's a hard light or a soft source, you're still going to have a pretty significant contrast ratio between the light side of their face and the dark side of their face. So how do you augment that?
We started out by bringing in a shiny board. We brought it in camera left, just to the right of talent. We brought it in really close to fill in the shadows and bring up the talent's right side of their face. We brought it in close enough to where it was wrapping around the back of the talent and almost made it look like it was a whole nother light source.
Yeah, you can use a shiny board or a mirror.
When I was starting out, I even used a piece of cardboard and just taped tinfoil to it, and it worked great.
Yeah, anything that reflects the light, it's gonna seem like an additional light source. What else did you add to shape that light?
So secondly, we took a 4x4 foam bounce card and placed it right under talent, bouncing the light we were getting from the 300D back up into the talent, really filling in those shadows underneath the chin, nose, and eyes.
I use this a lot in beauty lighting as well. And then you also had a kicker off to the side.
So lastly, we had a 5-in-1 reflector, gold side, off to camera right, talent's left side, really just bouncing the light back in, giving a little bit of highlight in the hair. And I chose to use the gold shiny side because both of the talent's hair color was more kind of on the darker side.
So of course the 300D, big, powerful LED light, if you were to do this on a budget, what would you substitute?
For the second setup, we bounced a 672 off a foam bounce card back through an opal frost diffusion to really give it that same soft look that we were getting from the light dome on the 300D.
So let's see both of those shots together, the higher quality LED and the more budget-friendly option. Hunter, you also shot this with an iPhone, correct?
Yep.
To show an even more budget option of what you can do with one light. Did you change any of the lighting at all?
For this particular scene, we didn't have to change anything because it was a pretty high-key look and the ratio was about the same on both cameras, but an iPhone being a lesser dynamic range, if you needed to, you could always walk in your fill, bring up the ratio a little bit, even it out to compensate for the lesser dynamic range.
So let's actually see both of those shots side by side, the Red and the iPhone. All right, Hunter, if we're gonna do a high-key lighting setup with just one light on a face, what are some takeaways?
Create a soft key. That can be either with a light dome or some sort of diffusion, bouncing it, whatever. Two is fill in the shadows as much as you can to create an even ratio across the face. And three is bring in something kind of shiny with some punch that you can kind of edge the talent with and make it seem like there's almost a second light source there.
Yeah, this really looks like a 3-light setup, when in fact it's just 1 light, which brings us to the question of this video, which is, what was the first light that you had and how did you use it?
You don't want to know what mine was.
Let us know in the comments. The best answer is going to win a little Aputure MC, which is our new RGB panel. That's it for us today. If you liked this episode, if you found it useful, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow us, our social media links will be down below. And that's it for us. Have a great day. Bye.